Probably not, but if it happens, it happens.
Right.
That's right. Okay. Yeah, that's really likely. Well, should I just go 3, 2, 1 and go? Ah, there we go. What a way to start the first ever Guerilla Football. Brought to you by, in association with Match Bingo. And joining me for this auspicious debut are Daniel Norcross, who was TMS.
Yeah.
But before that, Test Match Sofa.
The other TMS, yes.
Yeah, the first TMS.
The bastard father of guerrilla cricket.
Indeed. Yep. And also, I invited the two people who made me laugh most in the first lockdown. And that was you, Daniel. Remember that game we were inventing? Paparazzi, we'll get on to that.
Oh, yes.
And Eggy, who I've known for, is it 43 years now? More.
53.
Oh, we're a bit older, aren't we? Fuck. 53 years. Yeah. Still funny.
So just to be clear, before we started, our other guest that you've yet to introduce.
I'm going to, yes.
But asked a very germane question, where do we stand on swearing? And you said, best to avoid it, but if it happens, it happens.
It does,
And so within the first minute, we've had 2 F-bombs.
Have we?
Yes.
Who by?
You.
No.
Yes.
No. Right, okay. Well, that's luckily it's... and up in Wakefield, are you the 3rd or 4th most famous person in Wakefield now?
I think I'm probably 4th now. I was third.
It's Martin Kellner, by the way, everyone. Fans of comedy. Comedy fans.
Yes, indeed, I am Martin Kellner, and delighted to be joining this very diverse lineup that you have there. Fantastic. So, as a northerner, I sort of,
Are you a northerner? I thought you came from the home counties.
No, from Manchester originally.
Really?
So, yeah.
Oh, like Michael Vaughan. Because Michael Vaughan, of course, famously a Yorkshireman, we all think, but born in Manchester.
Right, that's absolutely right. He's a City fan, I believe. In fact, I saw him at a Manchester City match a little while
Okay,
ago.
Martin, I'm just going to cut you off there. But anyhow, the purpose of the show is bingos, is bringing association with Guerilla Football. This is your chance to play live sports football bingo. And we're playing it on the 3 o'clock kickoffs. Get your cards now at www.matchbingo.com/play. It couldn't be simpler. You get the names of 15 teams kicking off at 3 o'clock. When they score, you score. The first person to get a line wins £25. 2 lines, £50. Full house, £100. And we've also got a new feature, anytime full house. So the full house might go, but you get one at any time. You get a share of £100. 3 cards available. You can buy more if you want. And most importantly, half of all the money goes straight to the Stroke Association. So it's for good causes and it's fun. And we'll be telling you more about that as we talk on this, the first ever Guerilla Football. So were you on the first ever Guerilla Cricket or TMS?
Yes, I was at the very first Test match. Sofa was the first day of the Cardiff Test match between England and Australia in 2009. The famous Test match in which Monty Panesar and Jimmy Anderson saw out time.
How many overs did they bat for?
It felt like about 150, but it was in fact only about 6 or 7, and it was horrendous. We were the first cricket commentary after the retirement of John Arlott to survive purely on booze.
Right.
And so by the end of that game, we were many sheets to the wind. And my mother had very inconveniently and suddenly snuffed it the week before.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Well, I mean, it's 15 years ago. I'm coping. Yeah. You never lose the grief, obviously, Will. But but within a week, I'd launched Test Match Sofa, and after that, I did that for 4 years, and now.
Who else was on the panel for the first one?
For the first one, the bear, bear who's here.
He's in the building.
The founding father, the founding bear of Guerilla Cricket. Alongside a young man called Cato Harris, who went on to found Iceland Cricket.
Iceland Foods?
Iceland Cricket.
Oh, right.
Iceland Cricket. Not Iceland Foods. No. And I can't remember actually, because we didn't get the services of Nigel Henderson for a few Test matches.
So how do you rate this panel for the first debut of Guerilla Football compared to the one for TMS?
Well, I mean, speaking from personal experience, far less knowledgeable about its subject.
Okay.
I'm relying, obviously, on Martin and you two to tell me what the hell's going on, because I have a very more than passing interest in football. I used to watch a lot.
Yep.
Big fan of AFC Wimbledon.
Yep, aren't we all? We'll talk about them in a minute. I remember
but-
there's a curry. Do you remember that curry at AFC Wimbledon eggs when we went to their first ever match? The food poisoning.
Yes,
Oh.
we went to see.
The whole of the by the way, quickly before that anecdote, you must get your bingo cards before the 3 o'clock, before the games start. Bingo, once it starts, you can't get back in. So do hurry up and play if you can.
That's called a call to action.
It is a
people,
call
to
to
call
action,
to
yes,
action, and
absolutely.
you're running out of time.
I am. You've got 3 minutes.
Just as well, we kicked this off at 10:02, isn't it?
Yes.
You know, gave people plenty of time to,
Well, yes,
to get their
okay.
bingo cards.
I had, as you know, I had an incident-packed Uber drive, to put it mildly. But we won't go there. Hello, Martin. Are you still awake in Wakefield?
Just about, yeah. I'm staying awake and listening to all this fascinating stuff about cricket, Test match sofa, and all that stuff.
Yes.
And it's brilliant. Is it true that I can win money?
Yes, you can win money. Yeah, you
because I sit doing a show in the middle of the night for Talk
Do you?
Sport. Yeah, and I have no chance to win money at all. I mean, I do get paid a small amount, but very little chance to.
What's the listenership on that show now?
Millions.
Millions?
Oh, absolutely millions. It's,
Where?
Sorry, where are they?
Yeah.
A lot of them in Ho Chi Minh City. Quite a few in Kuala Lumpur.
Would you get asked for your autograph in Ho Chi Minh City?
If I went into Ho Chi Minh City, as it's
Yeah.
more correctly called,
I can't do pronunciation.
I'd be mobbed in the street.
You'd be mobbed in
Maybe
the street. 1 minute to get your bingo cards, everyone. Keep going.
Well, Martin,
Yes,
Martin,
1
since you,
minute to get
since you
bingo
mentioned Ho
cards.
Chi Minh City, and knowing you are a great fan of trivia, I wanted to ask you, do you know where in England there is a full life-size statue of Ho Chi Minh?
Oh no! Do tell me.
Well, I'm going to put this to the audience and to the panel. And any ideas?
Well, I can do a little bit of showing off here. In May, I saw a full death-size Ho Chi Minh lying down in Hanoi, in his mausoleum.
Wow.
It's
that's
the
good.
best bit of air conditioning I've ever experienced.
Were
Ho Chi Minh's mausoleum is absolutely brilliant.
Were there
do-
lots of posters of Martin Kelder up around the
Yeah,
city?
but obviously on the parade ground outside, it's
Yeah,
just
it's a pure vote Kellner.
It's utter Kellner.
Were you asked for your autograph and kept on signing it, Martin
Yeah,
Kellner,
Martin
wherever you
Kellner,
went?
Martin
Yeah.
Did you say you'd met him once? You'd have been mobbed. You've now got
totally.
30 seconds to buy those cards, and then I won't mention them again. But we're all playing along, basically. People watching, and
Yeah.
hope you're playing with us. And we'll be filling you in. You'll get the scores as they happen live, so you won't miss any of the action in some quite interesting lower league matches and beyond the lower league.
Shall I put Martin and the audience out of their misery?
Yep.
The life-size statue of Ho Chi Minh can be found in New Haven.
New Haven.
New Haven, yeah,
Blimey.
because he used to work as a chef on a cross-channel ferry.
What?
Did he- did he-
Who is he?
Amazing.
What are you talking about? Who is he? What's going on?
Well, it's all true. That's one for you, Martin. You can have that for your nighttime show.
The most extraordinary person you come in from Dieppe to
It's
New Haven
New Haven at 5 in the morning
your-
off the ferry.
with your 200 to Morio. You're going to try and sell at school.
And there's Ho
Ho
Chi
Chi
fucking Minh. Yeah.
What, selling fags? Where did he work on the ferry? Was he cleaning it?
He was
in the
catering.
casino?
Catering.
Catering.
He was in the
Ouch.
restaurant.
Did he work with John Prescott? Were they maybe a twosome?
Well, I don't know.
When
but
did he? What did he do? I don't even know the person you're talking
Where's
about.
Uncle Ho? He's down round the back of the Shamborsi lorry nicking the yogurt.
Who? What?
he's the architect of America's destruction
Oh, we've
in the
got to go,
1960s.
but it's in
Yeah.
Scotland, so it doesn't count. I'm
Uncle
just
Ho.
keeping to-
They call him Uncle Ho.
What does he do? Did he Vietnam? How did he get from there to running
What,
Vietnam?
what did he do? Vietnam. Yes.
I don't know.
Yes.
Hanoi. I'm lost. I'm not good at geography. What's going on, Martin?
Yes, he's Vietnam.
What's going on?
How did he get from the
Let's
ferry?
Yeah. Yeah.
Which one was he on? Stella Sea Link, or was he on the?
Ceiling. It was bog standard ceiling.
It was. It was a
It's late
tough-
50s,
it's
early
a-
60s, I think so. Yeah.
Oh, well, ferries were quite classy then, weren't they? I mean,
Well, I think that was the thing, and he was a very.
why did he just keep going from Dieppe one day and end up in Vietnam?
I don't know. I mean, maybe he was called back to serve his country. I don't know. I don't know why he turned his back on New Haven, but he did. He did. And
New
the rest,
Haven and die.
the rest, as they say, is mid 20th century history.
It is.
Will, do you know this bingo thing? that
Yes.
you're doing? Well, on my phone, it now says one of your games is in progress.
Yes, that would be your bingos game. Yes.
Go to live game.
Yeah.
Do I want to do that? Or do I
Yes,
keep
you
my
want to
card?
go. Your card should come up, Martin.
Yeah, my card. I've got my card. I just want to know if I go.
I can't do your tech remotely, for goodness sake. I don't
There we
understand.
go.
I don't know
Well,
a thing
so-
about tech. Watching you play with your phone is riveting.
I bet it is.
Anyhow, Eggy, what were you saying? Well, you have before we got diverted by home and.
Well, when we were talking about AFC Wimbledon, the
Yes,
first ever
yes,
encounter
yes,
at AFC, we went along
Mob-handed the whole of the Observer
the
Sports
Observer
Desk.
Sports Desk to go and see MC Harvey, who was a member of chart-topping Blazing Squad,
That's right.
who played left midfield for AFC Wimbledon.
Yes, and do you remember the guy who scored the goal, their first ever goal, went by the name Trigger, yeah? His dad told me afterwards, because he used the nickname because he thought he was in MI5. It was actually because he was the Mirror and the Sun's chief phone hacker.
I do remember that. vaguely,
Allegedly.
What I remember...
I think it all came out in court.
What,
I'm not
what,
sure.
what all came out was the worst case of food poisoning ever.
I was fine. I don't eat curry. Was it curry?
I think it was the Balti pies. Brian Oliver, the sports editor, phoned me the next morning and said, "You're going to have to go to conference. I'm not going to make it. I haven't been off the loo all night." And I said, I'm going to have to cry off as well.
Oh, sorry.
Pass him his phone.
Bear's in the house. He's producing. It's going to have Bear. So we've got two of the debutants here, and also Tarby is here too, who's a comic genius, but he's hiding. He's shy. But he may come on.
Oh, well, that'd be nice. I mean, of course, we can't really see you particularly well at the moment, Will, because the camera is pointing at me.
That's okay. You organised it that way, didn't you?
No, I was told to move to this seat because that was the main seat.
Yeah, I know. That was presumptuous of me, and I'm not really taking advantage of all the tech around me.
No,
I'm just happy to be a hand.
We haven't got any jingles.
No, but it's a great setup here, Martin. I wish you could see this.
Yeah.
We've got 8 screens in front of us.
Yeah.
And so far, all it's told us is that Alistair Johnston
has scored for Celtic, but that's not on your bingo card. So, Martin, just quickly, in Home in Chi City, are you more famous there than you are in Wakefield? So, where do you rank as famous people there?
Well, Chris Kamara is. Excuse me, I've got.
Well, don't die on us, Martin. So, what are the Wakefield standings?
Oh, you say that'd be quite the scoop, wouldn't it?
Yeah, well, not really.
Yes, well, Chris
Three
Kamara
talented broadcasters put off by guest at home dying, unknown guest. Other than in Vietnam, where he's huge, apparently. They'd be a state funeral in Hobie City.
Homie Chin.
Homie Chin, you keep saying Homie Chin.
I don't know how to pronounce it. I don't know what I'm talking
Just
about.
respectful to the great leader.
Okay. Who's Wakefield's great leader? Chris Kamara still number one? Even the stricken Chris Kamara.
Yeah, sadly,
Is he okay?
Well, he's not bad. I was in a studio the other day that he'd just done recording in.
Oh, what, you just follow him around here?
I just follow him around, yes. A little bit of his fame and everything will rub off on me. But yeah, I was in the studio and he'd just done the recording. He's slowed down a wee bit. It's like, it's more sort of unbelievable, Jeff, rather than what it used to be. So he's slowed down a wee bit. But yeah, it's okay. Bless him. He's been going to Mexico for treatment.
Blimey.
Yeah. Treatment for this, I forgot, asphyxia.
It's something, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Oh, well, send him our best next time he blanks you in Wakefield.
I will. Yeah, next time he blanks me in Wakefield.
And who's second? Who's silver? I'm just thinking if you're ever going to podium again.
Yeah, Jane McDonald is.
Is she still on loose? Not loose ends.
Is Jane McDonald one of yours?
Jane McDonald, yeah, Wakefield.
Oh.
She's one of ours. And I mean, bizarre thing is, every other night.
We have a goal, Bingos fans. Chesterfield have scored. James Berry in the 4th minute.
Sorry to interrupt you there, Martin.
You've got Chesterfield there.
That's all right. I've got Chesterfield.
There you go. You're ahead already. You're going to win. I mean,
yeah, but why isn't it? Is it not supposed to do something, or can I press it?
No, it'll all be fine, Martin. It's all automated. Look, don't try and sell the game. Go back to the Wakefield. So Kamara top.
Kamara top. Jane McDonald second.
Do you know Jane McDonald, Dan?
Well, I know her from her turns on Celebrity Gogglebox.
Oh.
Yeah, she's done that.
Was she good?
She's done everything.
Who are your 3 top celebrity goggle boxers? You had to pick a team.
Lawrence Fox.
Was he on? Seriously?
He was. He was on with his cousin Amelia. Is it Amelia? Was it Amelia? He was on with. He was on a million foxes.
Was this before he went a bit
Well, I mean, it's hard to tell.
Because he was
isn't it?
lovely in, what was that show? The Morse one, the middle Morse. Lewis, he was in. Lewis.
He was in that, and she's the one who's in Violent Shitness. Silent Witness.
What? I didn't. By the way, I hope everyone's noticed that we've come in our sheepskin coats. They get very hot. They get on a gantry. They're less good in Bears front
Another
room.
goal! There's millions of
There's
goals.
lots of goals. Wigan 1-0 against Stevenage. McGuinness penalty.
No.
Salford away.
Yes!
Aldershot. Yes, I've got Salford. See, that's the Neville brothers, isn't it? It's the Nevillers.
Yes.
So they run
Yes, it
Salford.
is.
Yeah. So that's near where you are, Martin, or where you
It
came
is
from.
near. That is what I like to call the A56 derby.
Right.
Crewe versus Salford.
Ah.
It's basically Housewives of Cheshire versus Coronation Street.
Who wins
And at
there?
the
Who would you
moment,
go with there, Martin, if you had to choose sides between the Housewives of Cheshire?
Salford. I was actually born in Salford, so
Were
I would
you?
definitely, yeah. So I would definitely go for them against Crewe.
Is Mrs. Stuart Hall still alive?
Ooh, now there's a question. Well, she was alive when he died because I saw her
At the funeral, were you there? Because you were good friends, weren't you?
Oh, Stuart Hall. I love that. I used to broadcast with Stuart Hall.
Yeah, is that what you called it? What a euphemism.
Yes. I'll tell you what we did. I used to do a show on Radio 2.
Yeah.
And I got various voices to voice Beatles songs.
Okay.
I got, what's he called? Sewell.
Paul McCartney.
The art critic.
Brian
the
Sewell.
art critic.
He's a
Brian
lovely
Sewell.
man,
Yeah.
Brian
Yeah.
Sewell.
Brian,
Yes,
yes. And
yes.
he
Quite
did,
forthright in dialect. Was.
Yes.
Was.
It has been a
Yes.
hard day's night. he would do it in a sort of. Then I got Stuart Hall.
He
So
used to spend a lot of time in Hammersmith underneath the bridge, Brian, didn't he?
Brian Sewell, yes. But Stuart Hall less so, more.
He was more Northwest man. Your territory.
Very much looked after the Northwest.
Was he the Kappa de
but-
Kappa?
Yes, he was. But Stuart Hall recorded "I Am the Walrus."
I can't
I might have
believe-
it somewhere.
No, if you could,
I am the
if you could,
walrus.
can you get it at half time and maybe play it in the second half?
I
Stockport
can
have scored.
find- do you know-
Millwall have scored. Millwall 1, Preston 0. Zian Fleming. Paddy Madden for Stockport. That must be an
It was
Irish
nearly a
player.
very
I've
good
got
day
s-
for basically Greater Manchester there, wasn't it, for a
Yeah.
moment, as Salford scored and Stockport scored, but Preston's let the side down, I'm afraid.
Yep, very good.
Well, Preston's
Very
up.
good.
Am I right in
Job.
saying, Martin, is it Eddie Coleman, the great Manchester United player of yore,
Yes.
that
Yeah.
was
Eddie-
born in Salford? Because I think there's an Eddie Coleman house, which was very near the Airbnb I stayed in when I was...
Where?
was it-
There will have been.
you may be...
Are you living in an Airbnb now?
Yes, when you do
Alan Partridge.
when you do Test Match Special, taxpayers' money does actually pay to put you in a real hotel. But
Yeah.
when you're not doing Test Match
Do
Special,
you all go in the same hotel, or do some people get more equal than others?
well, that's in Leeds. We have a
Do
separation
Angus and
between church and
Fo-
state.
yeah,
Yes,
okay.
but that's another matter.
Where does Vic Marks sit in that?
Oh, Vic,
A
Vic,
flop house
no,
down the road.
Vic mucks in with the rest of us. Yeah, so Vic's a very humble man. But I was staying in Salford because I was working for SEN, which is Sports Entertainment Network in Australia.
Oh, right.
And they were covering the Ashes. So when
I'm
I'm
gonna
not on the
take my
BBC, I was doing SEN. And SEN is as cheap as chips. They pay you sod all, and they put you up in an Airbnb. And I discovered the delights of Salford. I would say it's quite eye-opening for a posh twat like me, Salford.
Oh, would be.
Yeah, it was rather.
Is it quite lively? It's not like Moss Side, is it?
Well, there was a
Martin?
lot of drug dealing on my way to the curry house.
Wow.
A lot of it in plain open sight, very near Eddie Coleman House, I think it was called. There was Nicky Butt from round there as well.
Yeah, was he from down there?
Nicky
That's-
Okay, look, anyhow, we've gone slightly off point. Martin, who's number 3 in Wakefield?
Number
Martin.
3 in Wakefield. Well, that's me.
Yeah.
I thought you were 4th. You told me you'd fallen off the podium.
But his daughter's third.
Well,
Every
yeah.
now and then, yes, my daughter.
Yeah,
Every
no, it's
now
actually
and-
it's his younger brother's daughter.
It's not. Every now
Well,
and
he
then,
claims it is.
every now and then somebody from Wakefield
Mm.
wins a reality contest, and I get
Oh.
shunted down into 4th. So if there's if it's, I don't know, Yorkshire's Next Top Model or something, and there's a girl from Wakefield who wins it.
Does that happen often? I've walked around the streets
It's
of
happened a few
Wakefield. I
times.
wouldn't have expected it, but
Well, there might be sort of supersized models. There's quite a few of those going around.
there's no programme called Yorkshire's Next Top Supersized Model.
I think there should be.
There you go.
There is.
Let's do it.
You watch it.
I'd
Okay,
be a
yeah.
winner.
Let's do the idea. Yeah, another great idea.
I'd get to say something on that
Yeah,
programme.
okay, come on. Yeah, Eddie. Sorry, where do you stand on Wakefield? I don't know. He's a Kellner. You can't shut him up. And he isn't using his jingles.
No, I don't know whether I could play them through this. I've got them on my iTunes
Oh no,
thing.
I shouldn't.
But
I should not have said that.
No, I'm not going to try because I daren't. I daren't mix with.
Well, Eggy, would I be right in saying that Wakefield is one of those surprising places like Halifax, Huddersfield, and Wetherby, and you discover that they've actually got a theatre and a thriving art scene?
I wouldn't say far. It's got a prison. It's one of the high secure prisons. It's got Kellner.
Yeah.
We've got a secure prison. It's a Category 1 prison. Well done, Wakefield.
Yeah.
And
one restaurant. Only one restaurant.
No.
Or it's only one you're allowed in. That curry place you keep taking me to. We never go elsewhere.
We have a world class art gallery.
Oh, he was talking to me about this yesterday. Yeah.
Yeah, the Hepworth Gallery, and it's a fantastic gallery. We have the Yorkshire Sculpture Park.
Look, this isn't Visit Wakefield, Martin. Anyhow, moving on. Eggy, what was he telling me? Did I give you a car without a seat or something, front seat?
You lent me a car owned by a Kellner, that once been owned by a Kellner. Whether it was Kellner M or Kellner S, I'm not sure.
No, it's S, I think. Martin doesn't drive, he's got a chauffeur.
So
him and Stuart had a chauffeur, quite a young guy.
My car was in dry dock. You lent me this Fiat Panda.
How do you mean dry dock? What's dry dock?
It was in the garage.
Oh, okay.
Being mended. You know what that
Maidenhead have scored against Solihull Moors. That's a Toby Silver. Maidenhead. They've got a football
Toby
team.
Silver's related to Ho Chi Minh.
I knew that was coming. My godmother lived in Maidenhead.
So anyway, this car,
Just saying.
the Kellner Mobile,
Yeah.
drove it away from your flat in Putney,
Yeah.
put the brakes on the first set of traffic lights. You hadn't told me the driver's seat wasn't attached to the floor.
But I mean,
But it had a sticker in the back saying Salford Rugby League Club. It must have been the only car in South London with a Salford Rugby League sticker in it.
Swinton.
Swinton. Was it Swinton?
AFC Fylde have scored. Stockport have gone another.
And I've got them against Bramley, who I've also got.
Actually, I think we should all have a look at our cards because we might have a few. Let's see who's ahead.
Well, my card doesn't tell me anything.
Well,
except which teams I've got.
No, when they score,
Yeah.
they come off. When they go purple, that means they've scored. So are you seeing it here, Daniel?
So Salford's gone purple.
Yeah, so that means they've scored. So
That means they've
Yeah,
scored.
so here I am. I'm 3 away from one line now.
So this is a fix.
No, Shrewsbury, Solihull Moors. I need to score, but they're 1-0 down. I want them to strike straight back against Maidenhead. What a fixture that is.
Yeah.
Solihull. There's a weird place.
Now, when you say before you go on to Solihull,
Dorking Wanderers. Dorking. Where's Dorking?
I'm glad that you mentioned Maidenhead because
Sussex.
we were talking
West
about
Sussex.
famous people living in Wakefield.
Yeah.
But for my money, the place that packs
Wealdstone have scored, by the way, against Halifax.
the place
Henry.
that packs perhaps the most
Unlikely celeb.
twee punch in all
Tweest place
the
in
tweest
Britain.
place in Britain is Maidenhead, and I'll tell you for why.
Oh, I don't
home
know.
of, and I'm going to run through a few of these.
Yeah.
You got your Michael Parkinsons.
Yeah.
You got your Wendy Craigs.
Oh,
Ooh.
Did you ever fancy Wendy Craig?
No, never. but
Did you?
I didn't.
Eggy wants to interrupt.
No, I know. I was going to give you a classic Maidenhead resident,
Yeah, go on.
Carol Kirkwood.
Carol Kirkwood.
Who is Carol Kirkwood?
She's the one who can't say England. She says England and Scotland.
What does she do? What,
She's a
just
weatherwoman.
Oh,
She's
yeah.
she's
very
a rather
good,
she's a rather curvy weatherwoman, BBC Breakfast. But
In the
you just
mornings.
know,
I don't watch television.
that she goes to the pub at lunchtime,
Stockport have got another Bailey owned
has
goal.
a bottle of room temperature white wine, and gets
Yeah.
very aggressive.
Yeah.
So Wendy
But I'll
Craig.
tell
is
you another
Wendy
one.
Craig the most pinched actress of her generation?
Pinched.
Well, you know that pinched English. They see you, and they disapprove of you, and you haven't even opened your mouth, and then everything you say, everything goes downhill.
Yeah, well, I was going to throw another one into the mix, actually.
Yeah?
Hannah Gordon.
Ooh. Martin's getting quite excited. You
Yes,
haven't
no,
really
I'm
stopped
sorry
talking
about-
yet, huh?
Can I just say that curvy weatherwoman
Yeah.
is one of those expressions you won't hear anywhere else in the broadcasting landscape in 2024.
Although, funny enough, last time I looked at your laptop, it was your first Google search.
Yes, curvy weatherwoman. But yeah, I mean, it's a perfect description.
Yeah.
But,
Oh, Fleetwood
I
has scored.
say,
Yeah.
In the current climate, you won't hear it anywhere.
Huh? Promise has scored. He's delivered on his first name.
Oh, and Facundo Buonanotte.
Yeah, I wasn't even going to try and pronounce that. That's Brighton.
If Facundo Buonanotte isn't a character from the Doug and Dinsdale Piranha sketch.
No, that is a name like the word Kawasaki photocopier, Japanese knotweed. You can say in a Geordie accent and it works perfectly.
Okay, let's hear the Geordie accent, Jeffrey.
Facundo Buonanotte.
That's it.
Yeah, Hotel. Lives.
Japanese knotweed, photocopier Kawasaki.
Oh, he's going for the accents. It's a big mistake on live for anything, because as soon as you lose your accent confidence, you're gone.
But I want to go back to weather
But the
people.
car, so the car comes off. I kind of had a car that it wasn't attached to the seat. How does that even happen?
Yeah, how does
how's that
happen?
possible?
Because it's Will's. It's Will's car.
So
It
what?
was
So
going down.
the
what
car
happens?
moved and you stayed where you were.
I put the brake on. I put the car
you
came
used
to
to
a halt,
brake?
and I just moved forward as the seat came off the floor. But if you just sat purposefully down and went along steadily, you were okay.
Or you just don't use the
I'm-
brake.
I'm-
Don't use the brakes.
Yeah, just use the car in front.
Yeah.
Easy.
Oh, Stephen had just scored.
Yeah, Jamie Reid.
Yeah, and Promise on a Cherry.
I want to know more about Promise on a Cherry immediately. It's, that reminds me of the
Oh, he's got.
how
Oh, this
long
is
have you got?
absurd.
I've
Got three in a row.
3 in a row.
Stockport, Stevenage, and Salford.
Are you Eggy or Jeffrey for this show? I can't remember. You've had so many names
Well,
over the years.
hang on. If we're doing accents, please
Jeffrey.
give me your best Sean Connery for those three.
Yeah.
No, Stockport, Stevenage.
That's
and Salford.
terrible. That's terrible. Even I can do. Martin, can we hear your Sean Connery?
No,
Rovers,
I
Bristol
mean,
Rovers have scored. Chris
That
Martin.
Sean Connery was so bad that I couldn't even match it.
I can't. I think there's someone from Wakefield more famous than you. I think. Look, okay, the Paris Olympics. We'll say the opening ceremony the closing ceremony is when the Wakefield medals are handed out. Yeah. What odds will you give on you medaling, or vice? Should we have a bet on whether you are in the top 3 by then?
No,
Because you're unlikely to do anything between now and then that increases your celebrity.
No,
You're
definitely
stuck.
not.
It's only going one way.
Only one way. I'm never
Unless
doing
there's a
any-
Vietnamese diaspora move en
I've
masse
never
to
done any
Wakefield.
meddling. I mean, I left that to Stuart Hall. Never did any myself. What I want to know is why the only teams I've got here that turn purple
Yeah.
are Chesterfield and Stockport County. So you telling me that none
Exeter
of
have scored. In the middle of a Martin Kellner anecdote. How convenient.
those, well, it's not an anecdote. I mean, I'm just
Exeter, you've got a story about Exeter.
No, I've got a story here. I've just typed into Google people from Wakefield.
Right, okay.
Okay,
good.
the top 4.
Yeah.
The top 4.
Okay, can we see if Martin can guess? Shall we all...
Okay.
I'm going Kamara first. Are we all going Kamara first?
I want this top 4
Yep.
because this top 4 is genius.
Right.
right. Barbara Hepworth.
No,
Malcolm X.
no.
Homie Chins. What
Homie Chin.
The
ferryman.
Duchess of
Don't
Devon.
kill the ferryman.
Are we just going to call this episode Homie Chin?
Homie Chin.
You've mentioned name dropped one of them already. I thought you said Joe McDonald, as in Country Joe McDonald.
Joe-
I thought it'd be a superb person to come from Wakefield.
Country Joe.
Country
He
Joe.
was-
Country Jane McDonald.
Yeah.
Very good.
But we
Swindon have scored. Your team, Charlie Austin. Is Charlie Austin still playing?
Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah,
I got
but
squeaky there.
when you've got 16th v 17th in League 2, that's a fixture to keep an eye on.
But
Anyway,
we supported Swindon. We used to go and watch Swindon.
we did, but can we just
Hate
go back to
Swindon.
Wakefield
Yeah,
for,
okay,
for the,
off you, man.
Go back to
umpteenth
Wakefield,
time?
come on.
Okay, so this top 4, to put anybody out there, is Jane McDonald's on it.
Yeah.
Helen Baxendale.
Oh yes.
Oh, yeah, Helen
I liked her a
Baxendale.
lot.
Oh,
She's
well.
got
Really well.
Kel was
Cold
straight
feet.
off the podium.
Cold Feet. Was it? She one in Cold Feet.
She was.
And the other two have got something in common. They're Harold Shipman and Ian Huntley.
Well,
Wow.
to be honest, Carl Shipman's from
Martin's not even top 6. He's not.
Oh,
Yeah, well, my
yeah,
Shipman's
you've got-
dead, isn't he? And Huntley's dead. Is Huntley
Shipman's
dead?
And Huntley's dead.
Are you sure Huntley's dead? Did you kill them, Martin? Just to get you go up a notch
Well,
or two.
they were my neighbours.
Okay, well, it's just after Stuart Hall's, but
He only
kicked you out.
qualifies as Wakefield because he was in our very beautiful Category A prison. And if you remember, Will, when we came and had a drink
You
with
live,
me
yes.
in Wakefield,
Yeah,
we went
I remember.
to that pub opposite the prison.
I know, and you played your quiz.
where-
You played the quiz on your phone all night because you're socially insecure.
Yeah, well,
I think you
all the
found
three-
it was. It was. We've talked
We-
about this, haven't you? Your trick is that you've made people think you're funnier than you are.
Yeah. The what we spotted in that pub was all the briefs.
Walsall have
were
scored
talking
actually.
To their, to the
Donovan
wives of
Daniels,
the
that's a good
prisoners.
name. Yeah. Oh, you were there to meet prisoners' wives, or so you said.
Yes. No, this is bollocks. Can I say bollocks? That's
Yeah, well, yeah, it's not really a swear.
It's interesting because there are some words that still count as swearing.
Yeah.
Even on, I've noticed the difference. Being a national broadcaster level, it's still with a bit of a.
Leighton Orient of school. Bob Mills would be happy, and Bob Mills would be replacing Martin Kellner in the next one. Sorry to break it to you like that, Martin. 19 minutes in, penalty for Orient.
Yeah. So what was I saying? I've forgotten now.
I don't
You
know.
were doing Prisoners' Wives
Yeah.
in Wakefield.
Anyhow, should we move on?
That was all. Yeah, move on. I'll tell you, what I was going to say is I have noticed that there's been a loosening of restrictions, but not totally, they're not totally loosened.
Right.
This is in proper broadcasting.
Proper broadcasting. Is that what you call talk sport at 3 in the morning on your own?
Yes.
Broadcasting to Vietnam. Go, vote, vote, vote.
You can say arse now, which
Can you?
Yes.
Yeah,
You can say arse. Yes, it's a week because we have a list. I mean, do you have a list on Talksport? We have this list.
There is a list. Yeah.
Yes.
There's only 3 that you can't say, but everything else.
Well,
you're
3.
fine.
Can you say twat now? Remember when we did
No,
that show?
no. See, don't ruin my story because I was going
Yeah.
to tell you the story of one of the first times that the great Ebony Rainford Brent was broadcasting on Test Match Special, and she'd only recently retired.
Oh,
and
Jordan Bowery's been sent off at Mansfield. Not a bingo thing, but very.
No.
20 minutes, that's early
That's
to
very good.
go red.
So,
Mansfield, God, I've been there. Have you been to Mansfield?
yes, I have.
broadcasting.
I went there to watch AFC, Wimbledon,
And
as
it's the
was.
furthest
win
from a
4-1 to
railway
the
station of
four-
any ground in the
Yes.
UK.
Tell me about it.
Yeah.
But we won the 4th round of the FA Cup there in
Did you?
1988. Yeah, on our way to glory at Wembley.
Rebecca Adlington was from Mansfield.
Oh, I love
Yeah,
Rebecca
she is
Adlington.
from Mansfield.
She was great.
Big fan. So Emily Rainford Brent.
We'll talk about swimming in a minute.
We've had-
Jane
we've had the
Mansfield was
usual
from
thing.
Adlington, very
So
good.
Aggers has said,
Accrington have scored against Forest Green
that's good to know.
because you bet on Forest Green losing, don't you? Do
Yeah,
that every
always
day?
always bet
'Cause
on
you
the shit
don't like
teams.
the eco or the green.
No.
the
I
vegans.
think that teams being crap are altogether more
likely to stay crap.
stay crap than teams being good. Teams being good frequently draw, but teams that are bad, they find ways to lose.
They do.
That's my
They-
betting tip for you. So anyway, Emily
Finding
Rainford
ways
Brent.
to lose. That could be a great name for your. When's the Ghosted biography coming out, Martin? Finding ways to lose.
So the ball's
Eggy, are
been,
you okay? He's looking a bit ill in there.
ball's been hit through the covers. Aggers goes, he's been hit through the covers for 4. Emily Rainford Brent goes, yeah, he properly twatted that.
Which someone's won. Someone's got a line in match bingo, and it's
Already?
not us. Let me tell you who it is.
Yeah, is it the bear?
No, if that would
Patsy 49.
Patsy 49.
Well done, Patsy.
Patsy 49.
Yeah.
Patsy
oh,
spelt P-A-T-S 4 E's.
4 E's.
I was going to spell it with a Y. Patsy Kensett.
Yeah. Do you know, of course,
Famous Patsys. Patsy Hendren, Patsy Kensett.
but now you mentioned Patsy Kensett, what was she earliest most famous for? Martin will know this.
Ernie's most famous. I mean, not being married to one of our.
No, before that.
Sutton have equalised
She
against
was-
Walsall.
she was a
Vegas.
I think she was
Oh,
only
he's-
9. She was only 9 when she first rose to
Oh
prominence.
yeah, an advert.
Oh,
It was
no,
advert.
Railway Children.
No, it was the advert. And what was the advert for?
Cream eggs.
No, Martin can get this. Or maybe you can get it.
Eggy, come on, Eggy.
Eggy?
But I'm just going to say, for someone who's been criticised for their accents, her South African one in Lethal Weapon 2 was quite the worst accent ever.
Oh,
Is she still acting?
diplomatic
Did she ever
immunity.
act, really?
No, it was the peas advert. It's garden peas,
Please, yeah.
fresh as the day they go.
Fresh as the day they go.
Pop. I thought it would. That
was Patsy Kensett.
They
That was
nicked that
Patsy
from
Kensett.
Krispies, which was Snap Crackle.
Stop cracking and pop.
Why
Well,
not?
there was a
And
very
what-
famous lawsuit about it, of course.
Was there?
No.
Okay. There wasn't a show with Poppin.
All I want to say is you could not even give me a parking ticket.
That's terrible.
Diplomatic immunity.
What's going on?
Full beam.
Spartans FC. They're a Scottish team called Spartans FC. What's going on
Yeah.
over there?
They got beat by Hearts last week.
Did they?
Yeah,
So,
they got
actually,
the Scottish Cup.
On
Hearts
twat,
beat-
you know I
Yeah.
occasionally dabble in the law. Yeah.
Yeah.
Occasionally end up in court, not on
Purpose.
defending people,
Right, I
not
see,
myself. Yeah. I got a deaf man. He was sacked from HSBC for using the word twat.
Really?
I think it was HSBC.
He was
It was a
deaf?
bank.
How did he say it? Did he say it very clearly?
Yes, he said it quite loud,
Yeah.
but I can't remember my.
Not like Emma Nicholson.
He was
See-
sacked.
Yeah.
Was he?
Can I just
he's
have a-
deaf, not mute. Yeah, obviously, because he said
Yeah.
twat.
Right.
But
He didn't sign it then.
no, but he'd had a bad day, and I got him off. He was paid
Quite
constructive
right too.
dismissal. Yeah, and it was on page 7 of the Sun.
There's no way you should be
well
sacked for saying twat. Indeed, Ebony Rainford-Brent, who had said twat,
Yeah, but when
she was then confronted by the producer when she came on and said, Ebony, did you just say twat? She said, no, absolutely
no,
not.
well, she didn't. She said
Can I-
twat-head.
Yes.
Have a word
That
on
reminds
that?
me of my argument with one of your co-commentators, but we may not go there. Hello, Martin. Did you have something?
Yes, I want
can
to
we hear
have a
something
word
from
on
Eggy
twat.
instead? Yeah.
But I think the broadcasting view on twat is it's okay.
Reading
as
have
a verb.
equalised.
It's okay
Harvey
as-
Nibbs. That's a good name.
Yes. It's okay as a verb, but not as a noun.
Ah.
Is that right?
Her use of it as
Oh,
twatted,
verb.
really twatted the ball, that's fine.
Oh.
But if you say someone is a twat, it's a sort of veiled reference to
Yes.
female.
Yeah, pudenda. Yeah.
Yeah, the pudenda.
Okay, little one for you Northerners. What are you talking about today? I'm getting some research from the intern.
Yeah.
What's the nearest ground to the River Mersey?
Just have the room.
Oh, Tranmere. Tranmere
Prenton
Rovers.
Park.
No, wrong.
gotta be Tranmere.
Wrong. According
Wirral
to-
City.
No, according
Oh,
to
hang
the
on,
intern.
Stockport County.
Correct. Well done, Martin.
Yes.
Kellner goes 1-0 up.
Thank you. Yeah, that's the source of the Mersey, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, good for you.
Oh, Donovan Daniels is captain.
Mersey Square is the main square in Stockport.
Colchester has scored. Get it. Sorry.
Stockport's one of those places that's got an art gallery.
Has it?
Not only has it got an art gallery, it is the home of...
Oh, Harvey Nibbs has got 12 goals this season. Go, Harvey.
Yeah.
That's not bad. He might get a transfer from Reading. Has anyone-
Harvey Nibbs is that's quite a posh sounding name, isn't
It
it?
is quite. Well,
Do you know what I
It's
mean?
Harvey Posh or
Harvey
Nibs. Nibs could
I mean,
be.
you don't get many Tobys
But
and Ollies,
Nibs
do you?
could be East End as well. The Nibs gang.
Nibs, the Nibs, gang, I suppose. Yeah, but it's with a K.
Nibsy
though.
did me.
It's with a K.
With a silent K.
Silent K suggests a certain poshery to me.
Yeah. Okay. Colchester.
You're-
Arthur Reed.
Do you want me to give you a bit of celebrity Stockport news? We've done celebrity
Yes,
Wakefield.
please.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, as you mentioned, Gogglebox earlier on, Craig Cash, the voice for Gogglebox, lives in Stockport.
In
So there you are.
Leeds.
Okay. Someone who's just scored. Yeah. 1913. The club had a. Sorry, what I didn't miss. I'm trying to get some stats out here. You know, what football team who've just scored? I've given it away there. Had a successful tour of Italy in 1913, prompting leading sports newspaper Corriere della Sera to write, "Without doubt, Reading FC are the finest foreign team seen in Italy."
Would it be Reading?
Is it Reading?
Just helping you there.
You see, but that would only have been a couple of years after, if we want to go back to accents, of course.
1913.
Bishop Auckland, because Bishop Auckland were the winners of the first World Cup.
Eggy,
the
over
Lipton
to Eggy.
Trophy.
Yeah, Eggy.
It was West Auckland.
Sorry, West
Yeah.
Auckland. Bugger. I get me Aucklands
So
mixed up.
my daughter teaches in Bishop Auckland,
All right.
Okay.
which is quite a task, I tell you.
bet.
But English she teaches. That's a foreign
That
language.
is, that's a triumph of hope over experience, isn't it?
But as you drive through West Auckland, there's a superb statue going back to the statue thing of Chin Mi Ho in New Haven. In West Auckland, there's a statue of
Dennis Waterman.
a miner with a Davy lamp slide tackling some very oily Italian Juventus player.
Well, because Dennis Waterman and that fella from Auf Wiedersehen, Pet, the little short dumpy one.
Oh, well, he went on, kicked on, and
They
got
were
quite-
on-
became quite famous.
the first-
Could Dennis Waterman act? Do we think?
I think that lengthy silence tells you that the jury remains out.
Well, I think the jury's coming straight back in because it's quite
If
obvious.
We're
No.
talking about Auf Wiedersehen, Pat.
Dennis
Does that mean-
Waterman, can he?
Yeah.
Can he act, Martin?
Dennis Waterman, no, of course he can't. It's not the point, is it?
He's not there to act.
The point
He's there
is,
to be, exist.
the long-haired guy in...
Oh, Martin's talking. I'm going
Auf
to take a pee
Wiedersehen-
break.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do that.
Oh look, he's
but-
going. This is great. We can have a bit of. We can actually hear you.
Yeah. So can we swear now that Will's gone?
Yeah, definitely.
Now that Will's pissed... Oh,
I'll
gone.
have some more wine though. Yeah. So sorry.
So
Yeah, the long-haired guy.
The long-haired guy, Auf Wiedersehen, Pat.
Yeah.
A guy called Gary Holton.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, who was a great guy. I had him as a guest on a late night show I was doing one time, and he was always on the point of swearing. And he was very much of a punk guy, and he did a sort of punk version of "Ruby, Don't Take Your Love to Town," which he did in that sort of punky Cockney style. So it was in "Ruby, don't take your love to town." and he was a minor hit. Sort of got in the bottom end of the top 40, but he was a fantastic character. Died quite young. But he was the Cockney, if you remember advertising.
I do.
You've got to really think back, yeah. He was the Cockney guy, he was Jack the Lad in that program.
He was the sex symbol.
He was, wasn't he? Yeah, he was. He was a sex symbol.
People-
Yeah.
He was a sex symbol. He was sort of rivaled his contemporaries at the time, people like Tony Knowles and Jimmy White.
That's a great shout, because
Yes.
especially since we're talking Jimmy White, he of course is the most famous person to come out of Tooting, which is where I'm from.
And just as Will's not in the room now, bugger, he's just come back. Sorry, there's a bee
Have
bomb.
you peed already? I was going to say, you've got firmer prostate than I was imagining.
Well, I was going to say, that's impressive, Will. Going up, taking a pee break, and you're back in 20 seconds. I've been there for 25 minutes, so take a booking with me.
As we're in Sydenham, which is just around the corner from Crystal Palace, Will and I attended the semi-final of the Hofmeister World Snooker Doubles in 1983.
Blimey.
Yeah.
Doubles, and it was Davis and Mio against White and Knowles.
Oh, that's weird, because
Well-
White used to play with Mio quite a lot later on,
This
didn't he?
was
Because they're
Davis
both
and-
from Tooting.
Yeah, this was Davis and Mio v White and Knowles.
Yeah.
And Will and I hold the esteemed honour of being shushed by referee Len Ganley for laughing at Tony Knowles' hair.
Well, once you start, Tony Knowles' hair was something amazing.
Yeah, we can't hear you, of course, because you're just
You've gone off
talking.
mic.
Yeah.
I've sort of gone off mic all my life in some ways.
Go and have a
Yes,
pee.
very much so.
Maybe my book would be called Off Mic.
Well, actually, it's funny you should mention peeing, because you see, who was it who said? Was it Winston Churchill who advised people to drink, or was it him, or was it Clement? No, it was Clement Attlee who advised speakers to drink as much as possible and feel the need to pee, because it will give their speech greater urgency.
Yeah, I've heard that. There was an American DJ, it might have been Howard Stern, who's one of their, really well-known DJs, who said, don't ever take a drink, don't ever go and have a pee before you go on air. When you get on air, it does give you, you're a bit sharper.
But you could, I mean,
need
you
a
don't want to
pee.
go too close to it, do you?
Well, Richard Burton famously did, didn't he? Because he sunk a bottle of whiskey before doing a performance of Hamlet, which is, as we all know, painfully and
play.
ridiculously long play. And
Quite a big main part.
his bladder burst.
Did it?
And,
Literally?
Yeah, and he had to be treated for sepsis.
Seriously? Sepsis is no fun.
Yeah, he survived.
Dorking have scored. Dorking have scored. I've got Dorking.
Leeds have scored.
And Bolton have
Exeter have
scored.
scored. And Fleetwood have scored.
Oh, I've got Bolton. Hang on.
Zachary Ashworth.
This is
That's a
happening.
posh. What's this Zachary doing playing for Bolton?
I've got none of these teams on my card.
Yeah, we sort of can arrange things.
I'm
like that.
absolutely. I'm in it now. Look, I've got 3 in the middle line, 2 in the top line, and 1 in the bottom line.
It's a work of art. It looks lovely. Look at
It does,
that.
doesn't it? Isn't it?
Is that United or City?
Oh, I think it. Oh, it's a good point. I've got Oxford, but it looks
Yeah.
like it's United because it's yellow and black. Of course, famously owned by Robert Maxwell, wasn't he?
Can I just go back to the peeing story again?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Do you think when Jeff Goldblum made a guest appearance on Friends,
Never watched
they
Friends.
used... No one likes to show off, Will. They used the desperately needing a pee, the Joey Tribbiani character, and they thought Burton, Shakespeare, Tribbiani, all these people
Yeah.
that get better when they need to pee. Whereas Will needs to pee but refuses.
Yeah.
Okay, I've always, because you've known me for a long time, that bladder. Well, let's not go there.
What he said?
Okay, let's go back to Crystal Palace.
He's
Because
got the cigar out. You've got the cigar out. Do
I
you
know.
want to show it to the people on the screen back home?
they can see it.
Yeah.
I've given up smoking
I can tell.
cigarettes, and I just get part. It's more expensive. We'll go on to that. But Jeffrey, can you remember we were at Crystal Palace? What were we drinking? Hofmeister. Was it a Hofmeister?
That's the only lager available. The bear was in the foyer.
Our creative consultant came up with the advert for the Hofmeister bear. It was her idea.
Name of?
Her name was. She was.
No, the bear.
I don't know what the bear
Well,
was
it's
called.
funny.
He was called George.
George, of course. Altrincham have scored, by the
And
way.
do you know
Fans of
why
gold.
our producer, the esteemed Nigel Walker, who is the
The
Guerilla
bear?
Football man, you know why he's called the bear?
Because he looks like one, I
Because
thought.
he looks like the Hofmeister bear.
Can he do the walk? We'll
Yes,
find
he
out at
can.
half time. Can we?
Yeah, we can get him in.
Get
We
him
need
in?
to give him a pork pie hat as well.
Yeah. So Micah.
But Hofmeister was an absolutely pissy lager, though, wasn't it?
Well,
I mean, it
but
was
have
like
you
3%.
have you drunk new Hofmeister?
No, has it got better?
Well, they've got the original Hofmeister. What they used to do was water. It's a bit like Barry at the darts. They
Yeah.
watered down
Tranmere
the
have
beer,
scored. Yeah.
like the Tranmere at Grimsby. Rob Apter.
Yeah.
It's a bit like toast. And who's going to have the name most like a toast? A Jane Pluff client. You know the names of the clients.
Yes. Yeah.
Strawberry cupcake. Is it strawberry cupcake? No, strawberry Rathbone. Oh, there's so many good ones.
Yeah,
they'll
Randy
come to-
Baumgartner.
Yes.
Yeah.
Have you watched Toast, Martin? Probably a bit near the
I
bone.
can tell you. I'll tell you a bit about cigars, though. You
Yeah?
just
Jesus.
lit one up. I was watching a documentary about Jackie Stewart.
Is timeline quite heavy on your hands in Wakefield?
It's what? Yes, it does. So I'm watching this. I finished watching Tipping Point. So I'm watching this documentary.
No one watches
about,
Tipping. He gets quite handsy, the host there. I saw him really embarrassed.
Steady.
Shepherd, what's he called?
Shepherd, yeah.
Yes. I can't remember his first name.
The Shepherd. Isn't that?
Ben.
Sounds like a gag. Isn't that inspired? Ben Shepherd, yeah.
Oh,
So anyway, so I'm
Preston
watching
scored.
this-
Sorry.
Yeah, Preston scored.
Do they do
I'm watching-
celebrity Tipping Point? You'd be good on that.
Yeah, well, I think they do. It's funny you should say that, but my kids did, because I'm a big fan of Pointless as well. My kids said you should go on Pointless. If they ever do a B-list celebrity Pointless, you could get on it.
I think B's a bit high. I think we're
I've tried-
talking. I think we're talking J.
No,
and
Martin,
K.
Martin,
Martin
Martin,
says
let's
this.
do it together because I'm desperate to get on that because my podcast co-host Toby Tarrant has been on bloody Celebrity Pointless twice and
But I've never heard
Richard
it, sir.
Osman's House of Games. Now,
How
no
did
one
he-
knows Toby.
How did Toby
You
win
and
on
I,
House
you
of
and I
Games?
would absolutely nail it on Pointless.
I would win House of Games easy. They're rubbish at those games. They're
Oh,
so
yeah.
thick.
Well, they always have to have one slightly intelligent comedian
But even
and then three dimwits.
Anyway, can we go back to Jeffrey and I at Crystal Palace? Remember we got there, yeah? And it wasn't exactly a packed crowd. Is anyone else hearing crowd noise in the?
I am, yeah.
Yeah, but it wasn't exactly packed. Was and they corralled us all together, yeah? And I don't know
For
whether
the
it was-
cameras, so that
I don't
they
know whether
can-
it was you or me who said first of all Tony Knowles' hair was just not moving, was it? And that was when he was on the front page of the News of the World more weekends than most for being
He-
legendary shagger. Tony.
He was the ambassador or front man for some hair care product that you
Ah.
sprayed on your hair
Right.
and stopped it moving. Because when Tony from Bolton
Dorking
used
have
to,
scored another.
used to
Alfie Rutherford. He
line
sounds
up a
like he
shot.
comes from Dorking, so yeah.
His quiff or his bite just didn't drop the front of his eyes. His hair was literally. It's like a Sabutio player. His hair.
But
That's right.
It's
Well,
a
I mean,
weird.
do you remember-
Can I say, Daniel? Can I just finish? Because I want to finish this with it, Jeffrey.
yeah,
It's
sorry, yes.
quite interesting, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Because snooker,
We'll be the judge of that.
it's very
Yeah.
shy. Everyone's very quiet there. I mean, it's silent. It's reverential. It's like a church.
Yeah.
So Barry Hearn's invented two sports really: darts, which is panto and mayhem,
Yeah.
and like a sort of Bruegel, I don't know, some 15th century village party where they get to the big hall, and snooker, which is sort of almost like being in the Sistine Chapel.
Except, have you noticed they've got this new tournament? Have you seen this, Martin? The speed snooker, where they're allowed to wear jeans.
Right.
And Sean Murphy hit a 147 in it the other day.
Wow.
And one of the great innovations of
Bolton have
speed
got another.
snooker is
Yeah.
that the crowd are allowed to behave like
I
ordinary
think
human
they should.
beings.
I think they should at tennis too.
they did,
Why shouldn't crowds behave?
And for the very good reason that if you were listening in and if you go back and watch that 147, when Murphy needs a very difficult brown to clear up, right?
Yeah, okay. We won't
Typical
go
brown.
there, yes.
And he's bending over and he's got to do it quite quickly and he's on the rest. You can just hear this voice go, "Don't bottle it, Sean."
You come up with a secret thing. Remember my gran, because you lived with us for a while, Jeffrey, didn't you? I don't know why you moved in, but you did. My gran, who lived to 95, smoked 40 to 60 Marlboro Reds a day. She was never happier and while she drank whiskey, than watching the snooker. Because what she liked was a well-dressed man, i.e. black tie type thing, leaning over the green bays
I
with
bet.
their arse on show.
Well, Tony Knowles.
We're not going there, Eggy. I know what you're going to talk about.
Tony Knowles was famously from Bolton, was he?
He was, actually.
And the two greatest distinctions to me of Tony Knowles were, aside from having testicular
What's he
cancer
doing
and
now,
surviving,
do you think?
don't know, but he beat Steve Davis in the 1982 first round, 10
10-1.
frames to
10-1.
1. 10 frames to 1. And
The
that,
Nugget couldn't believe it.
and that shot him because in those days the ranking system was so poor that he went from an unseeded player to number 3 in the world
Did he?
by the end of that tournament.
So it's a bit
A bit
like Martin in Wakefield.
Like Luke Littler.
Now, I
he was
talked to
basically
Barry.
the snookering
I
Luke
had
Littler.
a chat, so I was very lucky to be Barry's guest of honour at the darts in between
Oh
Christmas
yeah,
and New
was
Year.
that fun?
Was it fun? I can't tell you the whole anecdote because it takes 15 minutes. But I did say to Barry, look, that Luke Littler, Barry, yeah? He's 36 if he's a day, yeah? And Barry says, Bingo. He calls me Bingo Will. That's my business name, yeah? He goes, Bingo, I promise you, I've seen his passport. Yeah, I saw him. I thought, he's not 16, so I had to have a look at the passport. It's kosher. I promise you, it's kosher, yeah? But that said, he did start shaving aged 8. But I don't. It's the layers on his beer belly.
Yeah.
You don't get layered. I mean, in East Malling, everyone had a layered beer. Maybe he comes from Kent.
I don't know where he's from, but
No, he's from. No one
He's from
knows.
St Helens.
Is he? Do you know him?
Oh, that's St Helens at Warrington.
Do you think everybody in the north knows each other, Will?
they all
Yeah,
say
well,
they do. 'Cause they say hello to each other.
We're all in and out of each other's houses, borrowing a couple of drugs all the time.
But so
There
back
was-
to Crystal Palace.
There was a wonderful thing about Luke Littler. There was a bloke on Twitter. I can't remember who he was. He went. I've taken my kids to evening training, early morning training, sitting through mud, rain, sleet, hours on the bus and the motorway, taking them to sport. Luke Littler's dad took him to the pub.
Yeah, and he's spot on, isn't he? I mean,
But that's good parenting, right there.
if
But
this
when, at
doesn't-
what age did he take him there first? Because he's quite short. He's a bit like Jockey Wilson. He's almost throwing uphill.
But when
Yeah.
when I was at my peak pub going, the whole thing was
Your
in
peak pub going, you didn't go anywhere else. You lived in it.
Yeah, so that's peak.
East
So-
Malling, that
so-
pub.
so-
Pint of
so-
Ween or pint of Wed, no square in front of the ladies. Go to Barbarians, anyone? That's her whole winter doing that.
I was going to tell a story.
No, do tell a story.
So the thing is that the good pub parents
Mm-hmm.
always sit there and say to the kids when they pick up the dart, "Oi, no, you're not throwing a dart in here," because when people start throwing darts randomly round a pub, it means trouble.
But do you prefer a dart or a billiards ball?
The wild billies all tend to get dropped into socks in the Maidstone area.
Yeah.
They will be tonight, having beaten Ipswich.
Yeah,
There'll be an incident.
Yeah, well,
There were two great pubs in Maidstone, both of which closed down. One because the landlord murdered the landlady, and the other one got bought by a developer. But they would.
how did he murder him? With a...
I don't. They would.
With
they
a
would- they
a
were
billiard
20
ball.
There was the Fortune of War and the Saxon Chief, two very tame names, and they were
The
20.
fortune of war.
They were 20 minutes apart, and at knockout time, it was a 10-minute stroll for each clientele to meet in Maidstone Town Centre with a sock full of bar billiards balls.
Who won?
To let fly.
Who won?
The Fortune of War that had a downhill walk into action.
Right, so they
They were,
Right.
So
they were fresher.
was
They
it a
were
bit
fresher.
like, what was that Battle of Stamford Bridge or Hastings? One of them were up. It was always important to be uphill, wasn't it? In medieval
Yeah,
battles.
you fire your arrows downhill, they go farther. It's
Yeah.
like a 3-iron. It goes farther downhill. doesn't it?
Father.
Yeah,
Further.
it's the power of
Father.
gravity, isn't it? But I have a basic rule of thumb when it comes to pubs, which is that if they're called any name of a place plus tavern, don't go in.
Oh, I don't. The
So
Surrey
the
Tavern.
Grimsby Tavern, avoid.
The railway tavern.
The Railway Tavern, total
Where is
disaster.
the railway tavern?
Or fit
there are
any
many-
station anywhere.
Yeah, and they're all dreadful. I mean, frightening, actually.
There
You've
must
got to
be
quite
one
careful.
good tavern. We must have gone to a good tavern.
That's also the rule of French hotels. Never stay near a hotel that's called Terminus.
No, I bet. Yeah.
But we
yeah.
used to stay in the station
yeah.
itself. Cut out the middleman. Anyhow, back in Crystal Palace, we've been and once you start laughing at the snooker, you can get kicked out. But Glenn Ganley
I bet he
was a
would,
dangerous
yeah.
man.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Can you remember the lyrics? You remember everything? The Half Man, Half Biscuit song, Glenn Ganley?
Everyone's doing the Len Ganley stance was the song.
Yeah, and can you do the lyrics?
No. But I could do the lyrics to When It's Christmas Out in Ho Chi Minh City
Can you?
from Rock
Martin will get so excited.
From Combat Rock by the
Right.
Clash.
Kenny, let's hear them.
The line said, when it's Christmas out in Ho Chi Minh City, there's something about your shop, but remember it ain't Coca-Cola,
No,
it's rice.
Kid.
Straight to Hell was the song.
Yeah. Okay.
Mentions Cho Hee Min.
Chose him in now.
Was that when he was working the ferries or when he was... No, because he's ferries 56. You told me that, sorry. A Clash.
Yeah, well,
80s, 90s.
I don't think he left his high-profile job as leader of the Viet
Who,
Cong
who's
to go
his
back
person
to
on
the
Sky
ferries. No.
Sports News? Not news. Sky Sports News.
She's quite an elfin young lady, I'd say.
With a lilac jacket on.
I like the jacket. I certainly covered the jacket. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the hair.
And this
I
is the new
covered
Jeff
hair.
Stelling.
Yes, he's very earnest. There's a lot of that
He's
going on
got
at the
Tony
moment.
Knowles hair, hasn't he?
He has. Now, Martin, you're a big football man, and I'm surrounded by other big football men. Is it
Sunderland
for
have scored
you
Mason Burster.
the single most performatively earnest sport in the world? Because I don't think I can think of a sport. And bear in mind, I do a lot of cricket, and people are forever talking about the spirit of cricket. But I don't think I've ever come across a sport that actually attempts to go through the entire syllabus for Oxford University's moral philosophy on a literally weekly basis. So the pundits can spend 15 minutes on the moral righteousness of diving in the box if you're getting paid £500,000 a week. So you actually
I think
must.
it's become that way. I think that's a new development.
Half time to come out, which means Martin will. We could get a John Sitton type
Crew have scored.
half time. Crew have scored against Salford, Aaron Rowe.
Sorry, Martin, you were saying?
Well, no, I was just saying that it's a recent development. You know that if you've been to see Dear England, you know the play with
Yes.
about Gareth Southgate.
You went to the theatre, Martin. That's off-brand.
No, I went to the cinema to see National Theatre live.
That's cheap.
Where I know, but I missed out on it when I was in London. But they show it in theatres all over the place. So I did see Joseph Fiennes' performance and what's her name, Gina McKee.
You've seen it, Eggy, haven't you?
I went to the National Theatre and saw it. Yeah, it's very good.
Yeah.
It's very good.
Yeah.
If you see all that stuff.
Gina
in that-
McKee. You know Clavers, yeah?
Gina McKee.
You remember Gina McKee? Did you mention?
Yes,
She went out with Clavers.
Pippa Gray.
What's happened to
I've
Dad?
got cramp in my right calf.
So that's what we got watching Tony Knowles. Because once you start laughing,
Yeah.
you then have to put your fist in. You know
Of
when you're
course.
laughing inappropriately.
Yes.
Once you start, you can't stop. And his hair
Yeah.
didn't move, so the joke kept going on. We weren't banned by Len Gandy, were it? It was double snooker really didn't take off.
Rizza, 98, has claimed 50 quid.
Oh, so I meant to listen.
I'll just before Martin finishes his story, I about Dear England.
I'm not finishing any story today.
I know, but
I haven't finished one.
But I'm
still
on your
wanted to
side.
tell
I
about
want
the-
you to. I really want you to. I mean, I can see your storytelling uphill into the wind at the moment.
Oh, it's pointless. The Jackie Stewart documentary.
Pointless. You keep
Right.
mentioning pointless. Do you dream about being on Pointless? Do you like Alexander Armstrong and Richard Osman that much? You wouldn't be that good either, I don't think. Are you good at Pointless?
Who are you saying is not going to be that good? Me?
You.
or-
Yeah. You were the
Me?
one dreaming of being on Pointless. Oh no, you were too, Daniel.
Well, I want to be on with Martin. I think we'd both be excellent together.
I think so too.
I think
yeah.
I don't know. You want to have uncomplimentary
Yeah,
skills.
we have some uncomplimentary skills. I mean, I can't possibly match the breadth of knowledge of Martin, but I mean, I could be helpful in certain areas.
That was heavy irony coming in there.
Well, I mean, look, he probably is very knowledgeable. It's just so far he's only got as far as Jackie Stewart. Has never got to the end of it.
I really want to hear.
I'm desperate. I want to know.
Okay, let's have it. Okay,
Brother of
Martin,
Mickey.
you have the floor.
Yeah, I just thought it was quite interesting for such terminal nostalgists.
Taking you
as
into
lot.
half-time, Martin Kellner, and then there will be a break.
Thank you. Do we get a break? Thank
Yes.
God for that. I can go have a pee. So, this Jackie Stewart documentary. He, as you may know if you're old enough, he used to spend a lot of time on BOAC, going all over the way, especially flying to America. You know, when he covered he covered sort of Indy 500 and all that sort of stuff over there for ABC. So there was several shots of BOAC planes, the ones that used to crash quite a lot, taking off with Jackie Stewart on them. And there was a tremendously posh announcement which said, and this would have been just about as the plane got in the air, and it
Crew have
said,
scored.
and it said, I've got them. That's good.
Ignore him.
Yes, okay. It said, "Ladies and gentlemen, you may now smoke." And I thought, those are the days. And then she said, "Cigarettes only, please." So that was the nod to health and safety. Was the one thing you weren't allowed to do was or a pipe. People used to smoke pipes in those days.
So
as
crack
well.
was right out, was it?
Unless you're Will Self on the John Major's plane, of course. Yeah.
Precisely.
I don't know if he even got a verbal warning for that.
Oh, well,
AFC Wimbledon has scored,
Yes.
and I am over the moon. It's Omar Bugiel.
Buggy.
I can do a Jackie Stewart story.
Yeah, okay.
Oh yeah.
Let's
Good
take
luck.
Yes,
Good luck.
That doesn't mention Will Self. Maurice Hamilton,
Yes.
our esteemed colleague from The Observer, was writing the biography of Ken Tyrrell, for whom Jackie Stewart drove.
Yeah.
And he went to interview Jackie Stewart on the Stewart estate in
Can I ask
Buckinghamshire.
one question before you do? Tyrrell, which cigarette packet were they meant to be?
They were,
JPS were
They were Elf. They were French petrol company.
so not flogging fags.
No, not at the time. Anyway, so that's.
Not in a petrol station, no.
But I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep going.
Babylon.
Put your microphone down and shut it. Okay. So Maurice goes to interview him. Tape is running, chatting away, been talking for about an hour. Maurice says, rather like you should do, "I'm just going to go for a pee, Sir Jackie. Can you tell me where it is?" And Jackie says, it's down the corridor, second door on the right. Morris comes back, continues the interview, gets home, says, it's all fresh in my mind, I'm going to transcribe it now. So he sits down, Jackie's talking, the tape in his ear, he is typing away, and it gets to the point where it says, Jackie, I need to do a pee, can you show me where the loos are? And he says, it's just down the corridor on the day there. As he did, yeah. Like that.
Sorry, very good.
Looks like he was in the room.
Then he hears Jackie Stewart say, boss, come here, boss. Come to daddy. Come to daddy. And there's this truffling sound. And then, give me a kiss. No, on the lips, boss, on the lips. And it was his Yorkshire Terrier.
And on that bombshell, Swindon have got another Dawson Divide. But let's all talk. Jackie Stewart, for more anecdotes of that calibre and for less from me, join us after the break for more Bingos action. Who's going to win the full house today? All in support of the Stroke Association. Thank you for watching, listening, or, well, just keeping it somewhere on your laptop. See you in 15 minutes. Bye.
Some of
Oh, good.
Jerry's off
You could see.
after getting that goal.
We'll have to come back to that.
Off. You what?